Trump slams China over reported North Korea oil sales, caught red-handed. U.S. satellites reportedly catch China selling oil to North Korea. President Trump slammed China on Thursday over the country's reported illegal oil sales to North Korea, saying they've been caught red-handed and warning such incidents could diminish the odds of a friendly solution for Pyongyang. Caught red-handed, very disappointed that China is allowing oil to go into North Korea. There will never be a friendly solution to the North Korea problem if this continues to happen, Trump tweeted, while on a holiday break in Florida. U.S. spy satellites reportedly captured photos of Chinese ships illegally selling oil to North Korean boats some 30 times since October. Report: China spotted illegally selling oil to North Korea. Satellite images released by the U.S. Department of Treasury appeared to show vessels from both countries illegally trading oil in the West Sea, the Chosun Ilbo reported Tuesday, citing South Korean government sources. North Korea was barred in September by the United Nations Security Council from importing natural gas and had its crude oil imports capped in response to Kim Jong-un's nuclear missile program. The U.S. Treasury in November also sanctioned North Korea's Maritime Administration and its Transport Ministry, in addition to 6 North Korean shipping and trading companies and 20 of their vessels, in an effort to block the rogue regime's transportation networks. The satellite images appear to identify the ships. One of them, Raisonggang-1, seemed connected to a Chinese vessel, was included in the November 21 sanctions as a vessel of Korea Kumbial Trading Company possibly transferring oil to evade sanctions. While Russia exports some oil to North Korea, China is the main source of oil for the rogue nation, according to Reuters. However, the country's records reportedly showed it exported no oil products to the north during the month of November. It was reportedly the second consecutive month China didn't export diesel or gasoline to North Korea. North Korea calls UN sanctions an act of war, rigged up by the U.S. A government source told the South Korean newspaper that, "We need to focus on the fact that the illicit trade started after a UN Security Council resolution in September drastically capped North Korea's imports of refined petroleum products." Chinese Foreign Ministry spokeswoman Hua Chunying said she had no information following Chosun's report, but said the Chinese government has been completely and strictly enforcing Security Council resolutions aimed at discouraging North Korea from developing nuclear and missile technology.
All right, get this. U.S. spy satellites reportedly capturing images of Chinese ships illegally selling oil to North Korea, and this happening dozens of times in the past few months from companies that were sanctioned by us. So what does this mean for our relationship overall with China now that we have pictures to prove it? Here with more, and including a breakdown of the foreign policy hotspots likely to be prevalent in 2018, Fox News foreign policy analyst Kyron Skinner. Kyron, first off, when it comes to China, this is damning, right?
Absolutely. What's so damning about this is the fact that the UN Security Council resolution on North Korea in September prohibits ship-to-ship transfers of oil products to North Korea. And if China is either looking the other way or outright approving this kind of activity, it puts the Chinese government in violation of that Security Council resolution, and in fact makes it a supporter of illegal smuggling, but furthermore, it makes it a supporter of North Korea's nuclear blackmail program.
Right, and the fact that we know about it, that we want the rest of the world to see what we see, which is an interesting ploy too. North Korea, of course, this is what it's all about with North Korea. If we could start cracking down and letting those sanctions sink in, they were the #1 issue for President Trump in 2017. Will it be in 2018?
Yes, it will be, and the president needs the Chinese to be an honest broker in this process, because most of North Korea's petroleum products come from China, and if China could comply with the various UN Security Council resolutions, it would absolutely hurt the North Korean regime.
Right.
So the administration is going to be front and center on both China
well,
and
Russia's
North Korea.
Russia's got to step up too, and Russia has to stop. And there's indications that there's some of their nuclear scientists are the ones expediting their nuclear program. Next, when it comes to ISIS, we need to blow them out once and for all out of Afghanistan and destroy them as they head towards Damascus in Syria. Are we going to?
Yes, absolutely. The military defeat of ISIS is a #1 issue in the new year as well. There are probably about 1,000, no more than 3,000 ISIS fighters left in Syria and Iraq, but the fact that there are any left is of concern. The territorial defeat of ISIS is not enough because ISIS has spread to other countries and is doing enormous damage and has the potential to do more. For example, it's in Sinai, the Philippines, Libya, Yemen, parts of the African continent, Afghanistan. These are the hot spots of the world. ISIS is not the only extremist group there, but it's inspiring those that exist and others as well.
But the perception was a year and a half ago that they were winning. Not many people think they're winning right now. There were thousands in Afghanistan. Now there are hundreds. And the same thing with in Syria. So at least it's trending in the right direction. And finally, a key move. We decided to send lethal weapons to the Ukraine as they fight on in Russia. Now they will begin to pay more of a price, don't you think, the Russians?
Absolutely. The Russians are going to face a level of lethality that they haven't seen in the crisis in Ukraine with the U.S. deliveries of anti-tank weapons and the U.S. commitment to shore up the Ukrainians as they attempt